Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Mariah Carey's sister, exposing her family's dark past. But before we begin, I just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to my second channel, Truth Network. You can find it tagged in the description of this video. We are planning on dropping a few new shows on the second channel, and I also will be posting edited clips of my live streams for those who don't get to watch the whole thing. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my second channel. We're at 25K, so let's get it to 30K by this Sunday stream. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. Mariah Carey is one of the biggest pop artists in the world, selling over 200 million records worldwide. She has one of the most luxurious music careers ever, with multiple top charting albums and countless hit songs. While everybody who's watching this video might already know this about Mariah, what you're about to find out, I can guarantee you, most people don't know. While Mariah became the megastar the world loves, and everybody got to know her story, someone's story that was overlooked was the story of Alisons Carey, the older sister of Mariah. See, Alison's story is nothing like Mariah's. She doesn't have millions of dollars or live in a luxurious mansion. She doesn't have any Grammy awards or any accolades. All she seems to have is pain from what she allegedly suffered growing up a part of the Carey family. Alisons Carey is telling a very interesting but sadly disturbing story about the dark secrets of her family that just might explain Mariah's success in the music industry. Mariah reached levels in the music industry reserved for very few artists. We know on this channel that artists usually don't make it to that level without paying the sinister price. Alison grew up with Mariah until she was 11 years old, choosing to move with her father away from Mariah and her mother Patricia, and you will soon find out it was for good reason. Alison, unlike Mariah, had a very hard life since the age of 10, and by the time she was in her 20s, she was working the streets and had developed a substance problem, all while Mariah, in her 20s, was touring the world and making hit records. According to Alison, she ended up this way because of what she was put through by her mother as a child. Back in 2020, Alison made some very alarming claims and even filed a lawsuit against her mother Patricia, who she accused of forcing her to be a part of Satanic cult rituals when she was only 10 years old. Alison spoke about her dark experience with this cult that her mother used to take her to in 2 separate interviews.
There was a close family member involved in a satanic cult. Used to force me to attend certain rituals. There were a lot of things that I witnessed that, were like secrets that you wish you didn't have to hold on to. People would be wearing black robes with hoods, so you couldn't see their faces. And they'd be walking in a line, chanting, like, drink blood. They do that. I did suffer during those rituals. Some of those satanic holidays, they always will be involved with the sex. All kinds of stuff going on that really shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be something children are forced to watch and screw up a child for their whole life. I never saw Mariah with us when we were walking into Mariah. I know that you've gone through a tremendous amount of pain and difficulty, and sometimes it's as though, I know sometimes you feel as though what you're remembering didn't really happen. I just want you to know that if there was ever any way that you needed help from me, just pick up the phone and call me. I would always be there for you.
People would meet. They all used to walk through the bushes at the Unitarian church down by the water in Huntington. There was a building, some other building, big building, right through the bushes at the fellowship. And they'd have these big circles of these Satanists around an altar where the people, sometimes in hooded, what do you call them? They were wearing these long cloaks that were brown with hoods, and they'd be in a circle or two circles, one side of the other, by the altar, where there'd be live and sometimes, but not at the same time, one at a time. So, and that would happen at night. It never happened during the fellowship.
As you heard for yourself, Alison makes the claims that she was taken by a family member who we know is now her mom to a satanic cult gathering. She claims that at this gathering, the most disturbing things were going on. She said she witnessed satanic cult members performing rituals that involved the participation of children as young as 2 years old, claiming that even blood rituals were taking place. She stated that she saw people in cloaks standing in circles around an altar. She also claimed that she wouldn't see Mariah Carey at these cult gatherings. Alison claims that these Satanists did horrible things to her and used her for rituals. I looked into Alison and Mariah's mom, Patricia, and what I found out was that she was a part of the industry herself, as she was an opera singer. This would explain why the mother was a part of a satanic cult. It appears that Patricia was using her daughter Alison as an offering for her success, which in my opinion eventually worked. I don't think it's a coincidence that Alison left her mother and her sister and had no fame and success, while Mariah stood with her mother, who's allegedly a part of a satanic cult, and became a superstar. This is why Alison decided to recently sue her mother, as she claims the trauma she was put through as a child led her to live the life she ended up living, hooked on substances and working the streets for money. I recently made a Patreon exclusive videos on cults that perform satanic sacrifice rituals, and the rituals we spoke about sound very similar to what Alison explained. I'm surprised Alison survived the cult and the fact that she's out here talking about it. What's strange, a few years back in 2015, Alison was actually attacked in a home invasion. According to Alison, she doesn't believe the man was there to rob her, but instead to take her out. As she claims, after giving the intruder all she had to offer, he picked her up and tossed her down the stairs, then proceeded to go at her with a bat. In my opinion, it looks like they were trying to get rid of Alison to silence her. I believe they didn't go after her sooner, since she was heavily into substances, and they most likely assumed she would get rid of herself or not even remember what happened to her. She was the price for Mariah Carey's success. She was used for ritual purposes, while Mariah and her mother received good fortune. If we take a good look at Mariah, we can see that she shows signs of being an occultist. Mariah, just like all the other big stars, can be seen doing the Masonic one-eye symbolism on many occasions, openly showing the world that she took the Masonic oath. The story being told about how Mariah got in the industry tells me that Mariah was a part of the system already before the fame. Online, it states that Mariah was signed after she gave her album directly to Tommy Mottola at an industry party she was attending back in 1988. Apparently, Tommy Mottola, who had left the party, had decided to listen to the music and wanted to sign her immediately, turning the car around and returning to the party only to notice she was already gone. Tommy Mottola spent 2 weeks looking for her until he finally found her and signed her to Capitol Records. They put Mariah with the best producers of the time and even spent $1 million to market her music. They were set on making Mariah a star. What's even more interesting is that 3 years later, Mariah would actually marry Tommy Mottola, who was one of the biggest men in the industry at the time. It's interesting to know that Mariah came from a family who was a part of a satanic cult and then went on to have instant fame in the industry and get the attention of one of the biggest men in music. Something else I found interesting was the photo shoot and interview she did for Complex News. In this photo shoot, we can find some very interesting photos that seem to validate what Alison said about her mother and sister. In these photos for Complex, we can see Mariah in photos surrounded by masked men who seem to lust over her. It's obvious what these photos represent: Mariah at a satanic ritual party, as they even named the photos Eyes Wide Open. This seems to be the exact thing Alison was talking about. It seems that when Alison moved away, Mariah embraced the cult, and then they played the part in her success. For all we know, Tommy Mottola could have been a part of that same cult as Mariah, and that's how they met at that industry party. We don't know what organization Mariah was a part of, as her sister doesn't make that known. It could literally be one of the many different occult organizations we have spoken about. In Mariah's song, You're So Cold, she seems to be singing about giving herself to the devil and how he has her under a spell. In the bridge of the song, she sings, "Made of stone, oh, you're wicked to the bone. I give you my heart, you're like a devil in disguise, so cold." In this song, she is openly referring to giving herself to the devil, which is not surprising if she has been a part of the occult her whole life. She once again refers to the devil in her song, Help Me Make It Through the Night, in which she sings in the chorus of the song, Don't care if it's right or wrong, I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight, and it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Openly, Mariah admits that she doesn't care if it's right or wrong. She will let the devil take tomorrow. Mariah has been showing signs of being a Masonic puppet since the very beginning. Her mother indoctrinated her into this lifestyle and introduced her into the occult world. Mariah gained the world at the price of her own soul. Most people associate Mariah with Christmas, as she is known for her legendary Christmas music. On this channel, we already know Christmas is a mega pagan tradition that has nothing to do with Jesus. Mariah always makes her return to the Billboard charts every year with this song about a pagan tradition. In my opinion, I believe what Alison has stated. I think she saw her mother and others participating in satanic rituals. Sadly, Alison was used for this as well. She ended up with a terrible life while Mariah received the world. The more I do these videos, the more I realize these occultists are after our children. We must protect our children physically and mentally. We must not let them take the minds of our children, or worse, use them like they used Alison when she was only 10 years old. What I found the most interesting is that no big media company seems to be covering this. It's almost like they don't care what Mariah's sister has to say, and we know why. These media companies are in the pockets of the record labels and the Masonic agenda. This is how they kept this away from the public, and no one even knows about this. I didn't even know Mariah Carey had a sister to begin with. When Dee showed me this, it caught me by surprise, because she really is Mariah Carey's sister, but she's living such an opposite life. It's like they kicked her to the curb and expected her to perish. It's so sad because there's so many people in this industry that are being affected by this. People that are around the stars, the celebrities, not just the celebrities alone. Like we're seeing with Alison, she experienced all this trauma all those years and no one even knew about it. She is 100% positive that her mom took her to these satanic cult meetings and they did things to her that she cannot forget. This is why her life ended up so messed up. And I've spoken so much about this on my Patreon. There's so many cults that use children for rituals. And I believe that's what's truly going on in Hollywood. We know Mariah would have not been at the level she is if it wasn't for her connection. In my opinion, I believe Tommy Mottola must have been a part of this since day one. Maybe he was already associated with Mariah's mom, as he was much older than Mariah. All of these cults practice what Crowley taught, his X magic. We must pray and stay alert, and make sure to protect those who need to be protected the most, the children. I want to hear what you guys think about all of this below in the comments. And like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes directly to helping the channel and furthering Truth Records. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts below and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there for more truth. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.